Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We offer stories of infidelity, betrayal, and redemption. Please like and subscribe. Cheers. Now, on to today's story. Me, 34M, with my wife, 33F, married 12 years, together 17. You guessed it, Reddit. She cheated. With my friend. Sorry for the long post. Infidelity. Mod deleted for asking a question the wrong way. Question is now restated. We lived in another country for 3 years, and when we moved back, we decided to move somewhere new, rather than where we were originally from. This meant having to develop a new social network. We were finally financially stable enough to live in a really nice neighborhood, and so we did just that. The problem with this neighborhood, though, is that most of the people suck. Real snooty and either keep to themselves or keep very tight cliques. Socially, this place is hard to crack. So, the wife is constantly on me, the social one, to make us some friends, and it was really becoming a point of contention for us. We were bored. Not only that, we were fighting about small things all the time, and things were just getting uglier and uglier. So one day, last August, we were at the neighborhood pool, and I decided I am going to meet as many people as I can and see if anything sticks. I meet a few couples and tell them our story and invite them to a barbecue the next weekend. A few came over, and one couple, in particular, we really hit it off with. We ended up all staying up until 2 a.m. drinking on the patio. Great. I made some friends. Woo-hoo. And we became fast friends, hanging out every weekend. Our kids were great together. Hell, we even took a mini vacation to the ocean with them after a couple of months hanging out. Things were great. Or so I thought. Well, like my wife, shy, introverted and pretty socially awkward from time to time, the guy in their relationship, let's just call him McDouche, was very similar, but his wife, Mrs. McDouche, was a lot like me, extroverted and very social, and not nearly as douchy as her other half. So I start to notice that McDouche is becoming more interested in my wife than myself or the group friendship. I just chalk it up to their similar personality types and let it be. Now for that part you all came for. First incident, fast forward to Christmas time, and we had gotten a babysitter for all of our kids and had a night out for dinner and some good old country western dancing. That is when McDouche took his Dutchiness to a new level. He wasn't directly trying to pursue my wife, it was almost like he was trying to offer me his. Making weird comments and about how I should dance with her and he won't be offended. I danced with her, because she was the only one besides myself who could two-step. After a couple of dances he starts in with comments like, "Do you like dancing with her? And it's really weird, but I feel like I move better when I dance with your wife. Do you feel that same with Mrs. McDouche?" And I was like, holy shit, this dude is drunk as hell. Thinking that is all that it was, I brushed it off. After we all got back to my house to relieve the babysitter, shit got even more weird. Everyone was good and drunk. We were all hanging out, Christmas tree aglow. The wife ends up falling half asleep on the couch. Yes, it's a huge couch, bought in Europe, and can fit many people. I step away, probably to piss, and I come back to see McDouche trying to squeeze in and spoon behind my wife. I'm like, what the duck, dude? And he's like, let's see if she notices. Drunk as I was like, alright retard, let's see how you like it, and I pull the same shit. Well, nobody made a big deal and it went on for a few minutes, then my brain kicked in and I realized this shit isn't normal at all. I look over and I see McDouche trying to dry hump, fully clothed, what I can only assume is his remarkably small pecker to my wife's rear. I was originally thinking this was going to be a game or joke, but now shit got real. I guess he was thinking we were about to swap. But no, that shit ended quick. I jumped up and he quickly realized he'd gone too far. I told him to get his kid and get the duck out. The next day rolls around and I get a one-line text from him saying sorry, things got weird. I was like, nah, I'm not even going to respond. A few more days pass and then I get the big long text about how drunk he was and how he went too far and it would never happen again, and how our group friendship means too much to both of the McDouches to ruin over one drunken night. I wait another day or so and I can see that my wife is upset that this situation happened and she doesn't want to let the friendship die either. So, I responded to his text, but I laid out ground rules. Keep your hands off my wife, don't be a douche, respect my marriage even when you're drunk, respect your own wife. Blah blah blah. He responds and agrees and apologized one more time and assured me it wouldn't happen again. They take off for a week for Christmas to see family and I'm glad I don't have to face the awkwardness for a while. It continues through text. Effing text. Second incident, so my brother lives about 2 hours away and we decide we are going to go visit his family for Christmas Day. Unlike my neighborhood, this is awesome. Tons of people come over to his house from the neighborhood and we are all having a great garage Christmas night party. I notice my wife is disengaged, but that isn't out of the norm. She doesn't love big groups of people. She's just sitting off to the side on her phone. I asked what was up and she just said Pinterest or something. I trust her. Later in the night when she isn't around her phone I see a text come in. Guess from who? McDouche. It was a punctuation mark, that's all. I asked her about it, she's like, I don't know. So I ask why they are texting together and not in the group text like we always have. She says they aren't, and it was some mistake. A couple of weeks later all had seemed to calm down. After we had them over one night my wife had left her phone hooked up to the stereo in the garage and I was cleaning things up. I hear the text come through the speaker and again, a punctuation mark. I've seen this before. I contemplate for a few minutes and I return a smiley face text just to see what happens. Smiley face comes back. Now I am ducking agitated and I am figuring out this is how he is checking to see if she is available to talk. I wonder how many stupid ducking punctuation texts have happened that I didn't know about. I didn't even delete it, I just left it on her phone so she might realize that I am onto their game. But everything had been deleted by her, so proving anything was going on was next to impossible. Nearing the end, third incident. Now that I am onto something going on I am not my normal, awesome self. I'm actually turning into the type of accusatory, insecure type of person I really don't like that much. We hung out a few times over the next few weeks and the weekend of the Super Bowl I have heard a shitload of denying and excuses and explanations about how our problems are in the marriage and nothing is going on. I somehow fall for it and decide to not be a goober and believe, somehow, that I've been making way too big a deal. I try to be the good guy and I decide to take my wife out on a date, start getting things back on track. Drinks, dinner and a movie. Wife has the idea to invite the McDouches and I reluctantly agree. We are at a bar and having a good old time. Beer helps me forget my anger about the situation that she has convinced me I made up. So we get carried away and some other friends text and say they are just down the way at a different bar. We decided to skip the movie and go meet our other friends that are not even 5 minutes drive away. We get there and my wife realizes she doesn't have her ID. Well, we had packed into McDouche's car and he drove us to the new place. So, this is it. This is when it happens. McDouche says, hey, I'll drive you back to the other place and we can get it. I am in conversation with my friends and they just sort of step away, for probably half an hour to 45 minutes. I am trying to keep it cool as the night goes on. McDouche is trying to stay up and hang out even though his wife isn't feeling well. So we dropped her off at her house and headed to mine, again to relieve the sitter. These two can tell I'm not feeling this shit at all and we decide to call it. My wife goes in the house to get his baby out of the crib and says, I'm just going to jump in the car and ride home with McDouche so he doesn't have to wake her by putting her in the car seat. I don't let it happen. I think I stopped it. But I didn't. Whatever happened, happened when they went to get the ID. The next day is the Super Bowl. One of my favorite days of the year. I can barely look at her, but I still can't prove anything. She is getting pissy at me and is basically screaming that nothing happened. The next day I was screwing around with my phone and I realized that since we have the same iTunes account I can turn on her texts on my phone. Where I work I get really bad reception. So, I do this, and she and I email argue most of the day. She is a very convincing liar. I am starting to feel like a ducking crazy person because nothing comes through on text that day. That is, until I am leaving work at the end of the day. My phone all of the sudden gets all of the texts from the day. It was 59. Lots of lovey-dovey shit. Lots of does your husband know anything? Lots of maybe we should take a break. That kind of crap, but because it hit all at once the order of the texts were completely out of whack. I take the kids to a friend's house when I get home from work and I give her one last chance to tell me if anything is going on. She lies. I ask when is the last time you spoke to Maktush? She says when we saw them Saturday. I showed her my phone. She is caught. I decided that these two have been putting me through hell, so a group text is in order for all four of us. I write something to the effect of "Hey guys, my wife is cheating on me." Mrs. McDouche is very concerned and asks if I need to talk. I told her no, but if she wants more details, just to ask her husband. It was with him. She won't go into details about what happened. I don't know how far they went. But she did admit they became physical, as if the emotional affair wasn't enough. I guess she knows that if I knew everything, there is not chance I'd stay. Aftermath, I am still at home and this was a few months ago. I struggle with leaving because I am the stable-minded one of the parents and I fear how breaking up the home will affect my kids. I've put in a lot of work and effort to build my family and get us to where we are and I ducking hate the thought of breaking that up. I can't look her in the eyes though, not with the same love and respect I once had for her. But only getting my kids half of the time seems like it would be harder for me. I have figured out that my wife and Makdouche have been in contact at least a couple of times since this happened. But now my wife acts like she knows she ducked up and doesn't want to lose me. She finally admitted that she deals with depression and anxiety and is now on antidepressants, but she still continues to make wrong choices in our marriage. I don't hate her. I hate what she did. I've lost so much respect for her, and I have some level of love because we have a family, but I don't think it'll be the same ever. Oh, and I have always been anti-divorce, but now that it is not all sunshine and ducking rainbows, I'm trying to see if I'm able to reconsider. Thanks for those of you that read this. I know, way too long. Here's the question. What do you think I should do? Stay or leave? For those who have been through this and stayed, I would love to hear how you got through it. Oh, and I'll add, this isn't supposed to be a poor puppy dog story or woe is my post. I am genuinely looking for advice on a specific issue dealing with a problem that will have huge consequences for me and my family. Before the first version was deleted I got some great feedback and thanks to those who commented before. Also from that, I realized that strangers will tell the truth, while friends and family will try to play to feelings. Two very different things. TLD, our wife wanted us to make some friends in our new city. I found some, became best friends, and then my wife cheated on me with the guy who called me his best friend. Duck that guy. Edit 1, update. Well, she was out of town when this was originally posted. I greatly appreciate all of your words of advice. Now that she is back and the holiday weekend, spent with family, has passed, it is time to address things with her. I have some very strong reasons to believe she strayed again while on her business trip, but haven't confirmed yet. Hope to have a new way forward with my life soon. Again, thank you all for taking the time and giving me several perspectives I haven't thought of. For those of you that see this that are praying people, please say one for me and my family. Leave, this isn't some sort of in-the-moment cheating. This is planned out cheating. I'm willing to bet that she even forgot to bring her ID on purpose so she would have an excuse to leave and duck this guy. Also, speaking as someone with divorced parents, divorce really isn't that hard on kids. It's much worse for them to be exposed to a loveless marriage anyways. Yup. This. But now my wife acts like she knows she ducked up and doesn't want to lose me. Unfortunately, she already did. In fact, she didn't just lose you, she decided to throw you away. I'm sorry, Op. This sucks. Leave. Duck that, kick her out. Completely agree. I would advocate always breaking up with a cheater, but when the cheating is so considered, I don't see any other option. Also, sentiments shared on having divorced parents. I agree with this. Also had a developmental psychology professor point out the same thing. It's not the breaking up that's necessarily hard on the kids, it's the toxic relationship they're exposed to before they break up that causes the most harm. Interesting. But I can see it. Kids who are in a household with parents that are aggressive, abusive, and hateful toward one another takes a longer toll than the awkward visits between you and your ex-wife. Yo dude, easy way to find out how long it's been going on, and believe me, you deserve to know the truth because your kids depend on you being the one making informed decisions and looking out for their mental and physical well-being. Take her phone and plug it into your computer, and visit YouTube and search for iPhone text recovery. The whole process takes like 2 minutes and it puts the deleted texts and images on your computer and not back onto your phone. She won't know you did it. Having this evidence saved somewhere might come in handy for when she decides to run for a divorce and paint you as the black sheep. Also, duck this other guy's marriage, send that shit to his wife. Do you also happen to know where he works? Great job on that suggestion, I didn't know you could do that. LOL. She finally admitted that she deals with depression and anxiety, is now on antidepressants. Cheater sob story. I struggle with leaving because I am the stable-minded one of the parents and I fear how breaking up the home will affect my kids. You're another one of those stay together for the sake of the kids type people. You're wrong. Your kids are growing up in a toxic environment where the parents do not respect or love each other. But only getting my kids half of the time seems like it would be harder for me. Get a good lawyer, and fight for full custody. Duck that guy. Nope. Duck your wife. And whether you stay for now, it doesn't really matter. You will eventually leave her. It's only a matter of time. Duck your wife. If anyone replies to "this was the standard, overplayed joke, I will shank you." You know what I mean. Edit well, some downvotes, but at least no one has done the cliché joke yet. It was not a one-time thing or a mistake made in the moment. McDouche behaved inappropriately and your wife still insisted on being friends with him and went on to have an affair. She was pissed at you cause you thwarted their plans of a romp. Even after getting caught, she kept in contact with him. I bet she contemplated her choices and McDouche probably shut it down. She has made way too many bad choices. Get a divorce and make it amicable for the kids. Staying in a shitty marriage because of kids is worse than getting a divorce. Even after getting caught, she kept in contact with him. I bet she contemplated her choices and McDouche probably shut it down. This is key. It sucks, Op, but you can't trust her. Better to fight for custody. Run. I was in your situation. I didn't want to break up the family either and wasted 5 months of my life trying to fix things. It was a waste of time. One of the stipulations to me trying to fix the marriage was no contact between her and the ex-friend, and if there was, she was to notify me immediately. There was, and she never told me. There are several books on affairs on how to get past the affair. I think it is easier for women to get men back from affairs than it is to get women back, and the numbers prove it. It's something like 30% of women having affairs stay married and 60% of men having affairs stay married. After talking to a friend, she made me realize I was probably doing more harm than good to my kids by keeping the family together. Sometimes a relationship isn't fixable, and me putting myself through hell was giving them the wrong message. I now have the chance to show them how a real relationship should work. Hopefully. Get a lawyer. Hopefully you are not in a no-fault state. Read, go to counseling, hit the gym, take care of yourself and the kids. The ex-friend may have instigated the relationship, but she was a part of it. You don't want to live the rest of your life looking over your shoulder. You and your kids deserve better. Good luck to you. I'm surprised you didn't give McDouche a good knockout. Also, I think you should leave. The guy is just an accomplice. 17 years together and this is how she treats the op. It's insane that anyone can do this to their spouse, all because she thought she was too clever to be caught. You always get caught. I saw a news article where a guy got sent to jail for attacking a guy who slept with his wife. It's not worth it. Take the high road. Are you sure the affair is over? You're young, you can still meet another woman who will be faithful to you. You should really consider divorcing her. It will be hell stuck with her till the kids grow up. Did you ever find out how long the affair was going on? It was probably before the weird incident near Christmas. Staying together for the kids is like holding on to shit for the rest of your life. You just become this angry, ducking person. Don't do that, Louis C.K. Your kids will pick up on the adverse feelings between you two. No matter how young they are, kids are intuitive about those kinds of things. Your wife didn't just mess up once. She knew what she was doing, planned it meticulously with codes and secrets, over a long period of time. Can trust recover from that? Maybe, but if I'm being honest, I doubt it. Every time she's not in your eye line, who's to say she's not doing it again? Every time her phone rings, won't you wonder? And do you want to become the kind of guy that GPS tracks her car and has her messages forwarded to your phone? It sounds like you hate that kind of clinginess and insecurity, so your best bet is to leave, and regroup. Get a lawyer, fight for at least 50-50 custody and get your ducks in a row. I really don't see how you can get past this. Maybe especially the fact that she has been in contact with him a few times since you caught them. That is not how you deal with it if you want to save the relationship. She lied when confronted. In my opinion, they deserve each other and you should end it before the resentment and amount of BS grows and the break might get a lot nastier than it has to be. You're still relatively young and from what I understand more than able to meet new people and find someone who does not cheat. McDouche seems like one hell of a gem. I would make the divorce as neat as possible, both for your sake and the children, but also to not ruin her image of you. That way she will always remember what she threw away and compare McDouche to that image. Maybe especially the fact that she has been in contact with him a few times since you caught them. That is not how you deal with it if you want to save the relationship. That is a very, very good point. I've been married for 12 years and just got divorced. Went through the same thing. Gave her another chance but she didn't change. My advice would be get a lawyer and cut you loses now. Trust is gone, respect is gone. This marriage is over. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Good luck. Doubling up on this was a calculated affair on both of their parts. Your wife never was in the heat of the moment, she had a long time to consider what she was doing and never once bothered to say anything at all to you. She lied to your face repeatedly. She might be remorseful now, but it is only because she got caught. It doesn't seem like she wants to be with you because she cheated so brutally, and didn't care until she got caught. And honestly, you deserve so much better. She's probably in the same boat as you and wants to be there for your children. But they will be so much better off if you are happy. A test for you: can you look her in the eyes and say to yourself, no matter what, that she is your person? Would you still take every bullet for this woman? Can you see yourself having sex again, and never thinking of McDouche being in the same position that you are now, doing everything that you have? Are you okay with the fact that your wife is comparing the two of you constantly now in bed? Your sexual skills, size, payload, with your kids, how much you guys understand her, how you guys make her feel, who's sweeter, who's more attractive, and she might think that McDouche is better in some respects. And that, my friend, is ducked up. Ducked up. You know what you need to do. You deserve happiness just as much as your children, and if you stay in this relationship, I think there's a very good chance no one in this family would be happy with that decision. Relax, take a deep breath, gather the information you need and get the hell out, man. If you need someone to talk to, feel free to PM me. Keep your head up. If someone cheats in a relationship, and wants to make it right, there are a few non-negotiable things that need to happen. They have to own what they did and take responsibility for it. No pushing it onto you or the other person. No saying things like you've been distant lately or I was vulnerable or you haven't been there for me or they manipulated me into it. They are the ones that decided to cheat. They have to completely cut off all contact with the other person. If the other person is a co-worker, that means getting another job. You say she's been in contact with him a couple of times? That's got to stop. Immediately. They have to agree to total transparency on everything. They need to give you all their passwords, and their phone and computer are to be available to you on demand. If they are not willing to do these things at a minimum, then it's over. I don't know how old your kids are, but it's generally better to be from a broken home than in one. So don't stay together for the kids. That will harm them more than leaving. They may start to see the dysfunctional relationship you now have as normal. But if you do stay, you might want to look into some sort of couples counseling. Or move someplace else where you're not in proximity to this guy. Why is she so scared to lose you if she values this more than your marriage and family? Are you supporting her and her lifestyle? Is this a case where she is just using you at this point and all the remorse and sorrow is just to keep your support? How is she with the kids? Is she taking good care of them? I mean honestly, the kids should be the number one priority. If she is unable to make good decisions, then how is she going to make decisions about what is going on with the kids? I am so sorry you are going through this shit. Good luck. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.